So there was a memo that leaked, and it was originally sent on November of last year by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee's Troy Perry, who now works for Hillary Clinton's campaign, having to do with how to handle Black Lives Matter activists. And so they it was like Black Lives Matter 101 to sort of explain what the group is. They called them a radical movement to end anti-Black racism. And they advised Democratic officials to not offer support for concrete policy positions. So basically, they said, hey, listen to them, invite them in, woo them, send them on their way. They also so the fact that they said, don't discuss any policy is really helpful. That's gonna get change to happen. And then the other thing that they shared about how to deal with Black Lives Matter activists, like how to specifically talk to them, and not to mention controversial phrases like all lives matter and black on black crime. The fact that we need to still have people have to explain to people not to talk about all lives mattering and black on black crime. It's problematic.
So here's what I find kind of interesting about this. So this is like there's been a bunch of hacks to the Democratic Party. It was the reason why I believe Deborah Wasserman Schultz, for various other reasons, had to step down after it was released their emails about what they were saying about Bernie, and people were freaking the hell out. Literally right when the DNC started, she had to like first she was silenced, then she was like they had to put Donna Brazile in there to like fix this magic Negro.
All sorts of things happened.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a thing.
But what I find interesting about this, so this was considered yet another leak that came out of emails that were taken, but the first reaction to it, there's actually layers to this. The first reaction was that they sent a message. They actually gave a comment to Mike.com about this, and in that commentary, what did they say, Amber?
They said the DCCC highly respects and values the leadership of the Black Lives Matter movement. In less than 2 years, BLM has evolved from the 3 words into a political force that is changing and waking our nation. At the DCCC, we highly encourage our candidates to not only embrace the importance of this movement, but to meet with and listen to community activists to partner social change. We will not allow this hacking to distract from our common goals, nor disparage the BLM movement. We continue to welcome further engagement with activists and BLM leaders nationwide.
Yeah, so that was the first statement that they made, and then Black Lives Matter was asked for a comment. I would assume Mike.com said they reached out to Black Lives Matter. I'm assuming they reached out to Black Lives Matter National, because as we know that there is lots of different parts of it, and then Black Lives Matter gave this statement. Amber,
we deserve to be heard, not handled. People are dying. We demand and are fighting every day for a radical transformation of American democracy where all Black lives are valued. We expect that our elected officials will stop pacifying and take us seriously.
Right. So we have so now we have this leak comes out. Then the DCCC was like, listen, listen, we respect them. We respect them. We respect them, because when you look at this leak, it makes you feel a little bit in the chest. And so I know a lot of
it makes you feel a little what in the chest?
In the chest, because I know a lot of our watchers here, especially coming from Free Speech TV, they have there is a definite energy that Democrats have to come together, and that anytime we hear about these type of things, that it's questionable. Like we don't even know if this is real. You know what I mean? Like they could have faked it or whatever. Immediately that was what happened. Whereas coming from my perspective, I didn't automatically think maybe this is some sort of a thing to malign the Democratic Party, because I happen to be black. And I know that breaking news. We need a breaking news Chiron
I had no idea.
animation.
I had no idea because I don't see color. But that's just
Madam,
me.
if you actually didn't see color, you do realize that I would.
I'm black, white, colorblind.
I know you're my wife, and I would actively pick at you.
That's all you would do.
You
were I would nag you.
No, not nag you. I would pick at you like in the bathroom. Like you would be trying to use the bathroom, and I'd be outside. No justice, no peace.
Oh, you would pick at me.
Right.
I thought you meant you would pick at me.
No.
Like you would bother
I would
me.
pick at you.
You would literally. Okay, got it.
I get Amber. I get her kid. Her kid's bored. Like she's
totally bored.
I'm like, hey, let's go pick at Emily. She's like, all right, I guess.
No justice, no peace.
No peace. I would totally do that if you were pulling that color
And she would go with you.
Thank you.
She would do it.
That's why I like a kid. That's why I like a kid. And so. The idea of this, before Emily interrupted me with her colorblindness, thanks for that. I had a point that I was trying to get to here, but basically hearing about the fact that that they were specifically saying don't say anything about any policies or anything like that, actually connects to a complaint that a lot of us have had about the fact that it feels as if the Democratic Party specifically is doing a lot of lip service. And now, pause. I know that you're like, oh, but the Republicans aren't even saying anything. Look at Trump. Like, yeah, calm down. I know. I'm not stupid. I'm very much aware of that. And the fact is, I'm not looking for Republicans to say anything. I mean, in all honesty, Republicans haven't actually been wanting our vote. I know that that he who shall not be named. It was sitting there acting like he wants the black vote, and I believe he wants a percentage of it because he thinks he needs that to win because he's scaring a bunch of other people. And I know he's not going to that black church, but he who shall not be named asked for it. But for the most part, Republicans don't look for the black vote. They're not looking for my vote. And the fact is, they aren't talking to me when they go out there and they make these speeches. They're not talking to me. Even when he who shall not be named went out and they gave that talk and was talking about black people and all that good stuff. The fact is, he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to white folks to make himself look better to them about racism. That's what's happening here. Mm-hmm. So then, so now we look at it and we have to think about what's actually happening. I'm sorry, things are moving around me. I got distracted. But so now this leak comes out. It's like, oh look, oh no, this is not real. This is the Russians are probably playing with us. But it's like, it's cool that the Russians are playing with you guys, but you do realize that you set yourself up real well for this to be really believed really fast because you haven't actually given any policy. Like everything you say, like the whole list. And before you start emailing me Hillary Clinton's racial justice platform, I've read it. Calm down. The fact is there aren't timelines of things. The best thing we got out of her was that her first budget is going to include some of this stuff. Then she said she's going to start working on this stuff day one. But it's like, well, what? What are you going to do? What happens day one? We still don't have a day one plan because we have day one aspirations. We have day one hopes and dreams.
They have a dream like Martin Luther King,
right?
Don't you know? It's like I have a dream. Oh, is it going to be fulfilled like that one too?
No,
just saying.
No. And so
did they march with
that's the thing here. So this seems really in line with them specifically saying do not give any policies or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Until the Nancy Pelosi weighed in, and apparently Nancy Pelosi released a statement saying that it's impossible for this leak to have occurred because she doesn't have a computer at the office. So they couldn't have hacked a computer that doesn't exist.
Wait, you mean it is 2016 and there is she's on pen and paper kind of thing?
Well, I'm not saying she might not be on pen and paper, but she apparently doesn't have a computer at the office or whatever where the hack would have taken place. Even though my first thought on this was, does everything that happened like that, is that all, like, is she the one who writes every memo? The fact is, like, if you get a memo from TWiB or something like that or some breakdown, I didn't write it.
More than likely,
I
you did not.
I probably yelled out in the background as I was pulling wires what I wanted us to say. You should say this and do
by
all
probably
the thing and all the stuff or whatever.
that's exactly how it happened. Actually,
Listen,
that's how it went down.
lie.
Yeah, no, you're not lying.
Right, and so the fact is that I don't know these things. Put it in there. So the idea that it might not be on her computer to me is like. I don't know if that actually is valid, and also I don't know. Like they say specifically that it was supposed to be Nancy Pelosi's computer. Like I need more information before I just go along with this idea that it's impossible that it could have happened because it's too in line because unless the Russians have over time learned nuance, the idea that because the letter didn't say and hide from the Negroes and stuff like that. It wasn't like saying anything like that. It sounds pretty much like what the Democrats had done during this time. Well, it's not like this doesn't sound like it's not doesn't sound weird to me.
Even better than that, it's actually it's really hidden. The one line from the memo that is like, you know what? Guess what? We're not actually going to engage in any policy change. That was like in the middle of a list of tactics and things that people could use, like embrace, meet them with the forerunners, the front runners, listen to their concerns. Great tactics for dealing with it. And they're somewhere in the middle of this really random list. All of a sudden, it had. And do not engage, do not condone any policy change. Like, we're not actually taking action, but be really nice to these people because they might be problems.
Right. And what I believe in honesty is that this is if you want to look at the politics of it, it's actually perfect because listen, you can't listen to those hacks. They're trying to ruin our government or whatever. So those hacks don't even count. I actually read one story where there was a politician who was talking about that that the stuff that are released within the hack shouldn't even be up for discussion because of how it was obtained, which I find interesting. It's so things that would really be, I don't know, problematic for you, you're saying that we shouldn't discuss those. Okay.
It's funny. Like, I know that Nancy Pelosi is a grandmother, and I like to think of her like my grandmother, like sending an email and then calling me to be like, "Did you get my email? I sent it on the interwebs, so no one can get to it but you, right? It's very private." Like, that's sort of how I like to think of her, even though she's leading.
Well, she actually sends it by carrier pigeon after writing it from
her beeper
ink that she makes with her pea and indigo.
What are you even trying to imply here, madam? That doesn't make sense here. What are you
she's old
saying?
school is what we're saying. So she's like, what? Huh?
Okay.
I don't even know how to work this. Can you show
me
how this?
But she didn't say she doesn't own a computer. It's just that she didn't have one that was there that was hackable. I guess
the office.
But she, and also I don't know. Like, does she not have a computer at home? Like, there's more to question this or whatever. Like, we had this story on the docket yesterday, and then I saw the update that she was saying that the computer is non-existent. And like I said, it's an interesting little twist here because it sounds really right, and it falls in line. And the fact is, let's say this was a faked leak. You know the type of problems that you're having within your Republican Party. I mean, not your Republican. Oh my God!
Your Republican
you know what type of problems you're probably having, Democrats, when this type of thing isn't even that odd for you. It's just like, I can see that.